Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. This is Usama Sayyid from islamafterahmadiyya.com. This is a relatively short video. It's an expression of frustration, to be fair. Frustration for Ahmadi people, not for myself. For people who are stuck in Ahmadiyya. People who are stuck in Ahmadiyya, for you people who are actually having some courage is growing within you, for you to start actually asking whether Ahmadiyya is correct and actually just checking it out, checking the writings of your Prophet Mirza Ghulam, checking his writings and verifying it for yourself, because I understand it's very difficult for Ahmadis to actually question anything in Ahmadiyya. I know it's very difficult for you to question. You're used to being told what to think, being given your opinions on Islamic things, especially being told what to think about Mirza Ghulam's writings. Being told, obviously, the leadership, your leader, his name is Mirza Masroor, and previous leaders as well, and all the other leaders in the hierarchy, like, your heads of your countries and all this kind of thing. You're used to these people constantly telling you things and telling you how to think, even though you don't realize. I don't think many Ahmadis realize that you're constantly being told how to think, and you're not actually encouraged to go and check Mirza Ghulam's writings yourself. And particularly today, and in many other times actually, some lectures that are given by Mirza Masroor, the head of Ahmadiyya. And of course I've heard it many times myself, and I was in Ahmadiyya myself, and probably nowadays as well you'd probably see on MTA, although I don't watch it, but you'd probably see things on there where the Ahmadi presenters or whoever is giving this message, they try to tell you that the opponents of Ahmadiyya are twisting things, that they take certain extracts from Mirza's books, Mirza Ghulam's books, and completely twist, and when you say twist, obviously it means 180 degrees, it means something that was good, you've made it bad. So they try to say that we twist things. People like myself and others who have been doing this for many years, trying to make people aware of what Ahmadiyya really is, that it's not the true Islam, they say that you're twisting things. That the things that, you're saying that Mirza Ghulam wrote these very bad things, they say, no, you twisted it, and it's, these people have got nothing but rebellion in their heart, and they're evil, and they got blackness, whatever you want to call it, all this kind of, these connotations, they obviously, they're not going to say that people are good, that the ones who are talking about Mirza Ghulam Ahmad, they're not actually, the Ahmadiyya organization is not going to say these people are excellent for talking about Mirza Ghulam Ahmad. Obviously, they're going to say, yeah, they're misguided, they've got devious, they've got some kind of blackness, whatever in their heart. The fact of the matter is, all you Ahmadis who have ever heard this, and you're listening to this video, have you actually heard the Ahmadiyya organization or seen them get the books of Mirza, get the relevant pages from Mirza Ghulam's books, and actually start to read through them to prove to you that people like myself are giving you twisted versions of Mirza Ghulam's books? Have they proved to you that we twisted it? The answer is no. They would never do that. They haven't actually gone and got the books that, for example, if you see our videos and you see our website, have they actually gone and got the books? And for example, one of their blanket excuses is, they took one page and they left the page before and they left the page after. So basically, we've missed out on the whole context here. You've missed out on the whole context. So then they've twisted it and they've shown a wrong view. Have they actually done this? They've got MTA working 24 hours a day. They've got their website working 24 hours a day. They've got a weekly khutbah from Mirza Masroor every week, which is around an hour long, where he sits there talking about the Sahaba of Mirza Ghulam, or how the Muslims are so bad today, and all this kind of thing. Have they actually addressed this? No. They will never address it because it is very, very bad stuff that Mirza Ghulam has written, and it's stuff that the Ahmadis today will not accept. It's un-Islamic stuff that's unacceptable. Ahmadis today will not accept this because it's un-Islamic. But they will never address this kind of thing. They'll never come to you and say to you, we have heard this, people have taken this page, for example 291 of this book that Mirza Ghulam has written, and we're proving to you that here, look, here's the page before it, here's the page after it, to prove to you that these other people have taken it out of context. They haven't done it, and they will never do it. They come to you with things which they think they're very sure of. Oh, the death of Jesus. That Jesus is dead. Prophet Jesus is dead. That, the signs of the Mahdi, which Mirza Ghulam doesn't actually fulfill almost, I don't know what to say to you, like 80-90%. He doesn't fulfill, or maybe even any of them. But they say to you, look, he's fulfilled this one or that little thing, and look at the sun and moon eclipse, which we know is a whole fraud anyway. Which we have a video, inshallah, coming up very soon about that point. Because Ahmadis think that's a heavenly sign. It's not a heavenly sign at all, and we're going to show you in the video why it's not a heavenly sign. So they never actually come and show you, but they keep accusing the people who are trying to make people aware of the true original beliefs of Ahmadiyya. They say that they are twisting the Ahmadiyya belief to basically misguide the Ahmadis. This is what we constantly hear for years. And you Ahmadis out there, some of you, if you're listening to this video, you might actually think and say to yourself, you know what, that's true. They've never actually come and addressed this whole thing and brought that whole page, or those 2 pages, and explained to us, what is this exactly? No, they'll just keep showing you where Mirza writes that he's the dust on Sayyidina Muhammad's feet, that he's so in love with Sayyidina Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, that because of his obedience to Sayyidina Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he's sort of become like Sayyidina Muhammad or some junk like that. That's total junk. So how many good Muslims, and I'm telling you right now, if this is the first video you've seen of our videos, if this is the first video you have viewed, you're probably thinking, what's this guy talking about? Look at our other videos, and then listen to what I'm saying now. Okay, Mirza Ghulam was a despicable Muslim. He was despicable that actually his beliefs were un-Islamic. His beliefs were not Islamic. That means kufr. That means he's outside Islam. This is Mirza's beliefs from what you see in his books. I'm not just saying it to you like that because I'm being spiteful. It's from his books. Alright? So, how many other people who are actually like the great scholars of the past, who were godly people, they were so godly, they had no money, they gave everything for the sake of Allah because they were banking on the akhirah and not the dunya. How many were there? Did any of them even ever dare to try to say, oh, because I am so obedient and in love with Sayyidina Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and my love for Allah is so deep that I have become, I'm like Sayyidina Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, or I'm like a prophet or anything like that? And these people are proper sacrificial, they're extremely pious people. Not like Mirza Ghulam Ahmad. And these people never ever tried to claim such things. Okay? So I want you Ahmadis to go ask your leaders, say to them, could you address these things? Get the stuff from our videos, tell them address it. See whatever excuse they say to you. Oh, no, it's twisted. They didn't show the page before, the page after. No. These people they just got blackness in their heart. Or they might try and do a personal attack at the person who's giving you the information. All of this, at the end of all of this, the Ahmadis, have they answered what we have presented to you from Mirza Ghulam's books? You will realize that no, actually they haven't answered anything. Then ask yourself, why then do they persist in any of their media publications to keep saying that people are twisting Mirza Ghulam's books and that they are wrong and that they've got some sort of blackness, that they're misguided, whatever you want to call it? Why do they keep insisting on that when they don't actually answer the so-called allegation, which, as you know, it's not an allegation because it's actually written in Mirza Ghulam's books. We're not alleging anything. He wrote it. It's a fact. So ask yourself, why are they not addressing these facts from Mirza Ghulam's books? So, inshallah, if, for example, if you one day you feel that, you sense there's something wrong in Ahmadiyya, you feel that there's something not right here, inshallah you can have the courage to read, and don't be put off by any of the people within the Ahmadiyya hierarchy trying to put you off from reading. I mean, at the end of the day, my dear Ahmadi brothers and sisters in humanity, and I would like to think Islam, because I don't think you know the original beliefs of Mirza Ghulam Ahmad. Because if anybody who believes in the original beliefs of Mirza Ghulam Ahmad, as we have showed you from his books in our videos, that's un-Islamic. That's not Islam. So anyone who's seen those videos and still says, yes, I believe in all this stuff, you're not Muslim. You're not Muslim. But I know that most Ahmadis today, they're not aware of this. So I'm not going to do what some people unfortunately do, and they basically call out all Ahmadis kafir, and they don't want to call them Muslim or this kind of thing. I believe that most of you Ahmadis, you don't know this stuff. You really think that you're following the true Islam. You really do think that you're following the true Islam, that everyone else is really misguided. And the other Muslims, they want nothing except to kill you and to harm you. This is not true. This is not true, my dear brothers and sisters. You know, I'm telling you heart to heart. I'm speaking to you heart to heart right now. I'm being very honest with you. You have to stop putting your trust in the leadership of Ahmadiyya, and trust in Allah and yourself. Trust in Allah and yourself. Trust your judgment. As long as you can read, you can go and you can start reading. If you feel that some words are difficult for you, get a dictionary. If you still feel that you're struggling to understand the context of something, go to somebody who has very good linguistic skills. Very good, and they can explain it to you. But don't, for God's sake, for the sake of Allah, please don't just listen to the hierarchy of Ahmadiyya, and they will do their best to prevent you from actually seeing the actual true beliefs of Ahmadiyya. They will do their best to prevent you from reading. They will just keep on, and they will do it, and the worst thing is they do it with a smile on their face, and they act all peaceful and act all quiet and calm, as if, oh, look at these other Muslims all fiery. A lot of other Muslims are fiery, not all, but a lot of them is because of the passion that they have for this beautiful religion and their love for Allah and Sayyidina Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. That's why they're very passionate. It's not that they're violent people. Some Muslims out there, maybe you've seen some horrible things, maybe in Pakistan, maybe Bangladesh, maybe you hear some really horrible treatment that some people do there. This is wrong, and I'm against it, and most Muslims of the world are against this. This is actually ignorance on their part to behave like that. Because as I'm saying, as me and my colleagues are showing you with our videos, we don't need to fight, and we don't want to fight. Muslims don't attack. Muslims defend. We don't need to fight. We don't need to kill nobody. This is not what our religion's about. Our religion's not about going and killing people. We defend only. If people try to kill us, well then we kill them back. Because we're defending. But we never attack anybody. Just like all these governments. If you hit them strike them or anything, they're going to strike you back. That's what we do. We defend ourselves. We never attack. So any of these unfortunate events that you see around the world, well, not around the world, but usually in the Asian countries and some of the Arab countries, unfortunately, there's, some Muslims go around killing each other, which is really ignorant. It's just one word for it, it's ignorant. This is very unfortunate, and it's not the true Islam. So you need to, inshallah, you need to remember that most Muslims out there are not like this, and that people like myself, my colleagues, and people who believe in the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and try to believe in the true deen of Islam, they wouldn't really call you a kafir, because you don't know the actual beliefs of Mirza Ghulam. You've been seeing all these, for example, a lot of poetry that they say Mirza Ghulam wrote, a lot of his earlier writings and things like that. or just basically it could be later writings as well, but parts of Mirza Ghulam's books where everything he says sounds great. It sounds very Islamic and very nice. But you haven't seen the other stuff. And because he's written, I believe it's 82 books approximately, I believe. He's written these books. Most Ahmadis, they don't bother to read them. You don't bother to read them. And unfortunately, you just rely on your leadership to tell you what to think. And this is the worst thing that you can do. Because Mirza Ghulam is not a sure thing. He's not a guaranteed claimant to prophethood. He's not a guaranteed, he's not a verified person. So tabayyanu. Go and verify what he's saying. Verify his claims. Verify his claim. He's saying he's the dust on Sayyid Muhammad's feet and he's subservient. Go and read his books. Look at our other videos. See the kind of thing that he said. The kind of thing that you will not see coming on MTA. Because if it comes on MTA, most Ahmadis will stop being Ahmadis. And they will stop paying their money to the organization as well. And Ahmadiyya will lose a lot of its influence because most of the people will leave. But yet again, they'll just divert your attention, maybe attack the person personally, attack their character, attack their past, something like that, just so that they don't actually answer what that person has presented to you. So you have to be very aware of aware of the tactics, aware of, when you come and ask a question, the person in front of you, obviously, could be a muballigh person, he could be some sort of missionary, he could be someone within the hierarchy of Ahmadiyya, probably not an ordinary Ahmadi, I don't think. Make sure, think to yourself, maybe he spoke for half an hour, 1 hour. Say to yourself, did he actually address what you have shown him? Did he actually answer? Did he give you an answer? Or did he give a response? A response is not actually an answer. Did he give you an answer? Are you happy with what he said? Or did he take you down all these dark alleys and, this previous prophet said such a thing and that previous prophet did such a... And they cloud the whole subject. So you become confused and you think, you know what, I'm too confused. Maybe I'm not, capable of understanding these points. I'll just leave it at that. I'll just trust what he's saying, and leave, just bury that under the carpet and just forget it. It's fine. This is the real question. This is the real question that you need to ask yourself, inshallah, that have they actually answered what I have asked them? There's nothing to fear. These are Mirza Ghulam's books that we're showing you. We're not showing you any books from people who are opponents of Ahmadiyya or any such things. We are only showing you Mirza Ghulam's books, and in some cases, possibly book written by his son, or some pages from books written by his son. So it's nothing, and it's not written by anti-Ahmadi people. So why on earth are they not answering stuff that's written by Mirza Ghulam? If Mirza Ghulam himself, he said himself, read my books. If you have to read my books 3 times. If you don't read them 3 times, your faith is in doubt. 3 times. Most Ahmadis haven't even read it once. They haven't even read half the books once. So ask yourself the question, read. If anyone tries to put you off reading, don't be put off. Because this is a serious matter. When you are on your deathbed, some people, they don't even get a chance to see a deathbed. They can die in a car accident in 1 second. They can die of a heart attack, in just a few seconds they're dead, unfortunately. But some people, they get to live to a certain stage in their life, and the point where they die, they're actually on their deathbed and they can actually contemplate and think about their life and their beliefs. And some of you, if you know, or if you've been hiding away from all these original beliefs of Mirza Ghulam and pretending that they don't exist, may Allah help you. Don't wait until you're on your deathbed to start realizing and saying, you know what, I was afraid to look at this stuff because I was scared what I would find, and because what I would find may have resulted in me having to leave Ahmadiyya, but it was too hard for me to leave. But now I'm about to die. I'm trying to say, do istighfar to Allah, and please forgive me that I couldn't leave Ahmadiyya, I couldn't denounce Ahmadiyya as falsehood, because I was scared that people would stop talking to me. I was scared that I'd get divorced. I was scared that my family would stop talking to me. Do you really think that you've got a high chance of Allah forgiving you when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows that you knew all along for many years, but you deliberately turned your head the other way? You deliberately put the writings of Mirza Ghulam under the carpet. Hide them. Just keep listening to the leader. Keep listening to the leaders, the hierarchy of Ahmadiyya, what they're saying to you and telling you what to think. Just keep listening to them. Don't look to your right. Mirza Ghulam's writing there. Don't look there. Do you really think you've got a high chance that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will forgive you for that? The whole point is, this life is a test. So you live your whole life and then the whole test, you fail it. But then you say at the end, please let me pass. Please let me pass. You've done nothing in the test, but please let me pass. It's a very, very crucial thing. And this is, of course, to Ahmadi people who are aware of what Mirza Ghulam has written. Because Allah always looks at people's intentions. He doesn't just punish you. He doesn't just punish you blindly. You didn't know. But once you know what Mirza Ghulam has written, you must check it. And once you know that it's verified and it's not a lie, and it's not allegation and accusation, it's not twisted like you may hear people saying to you, you have to say, I have to stop this. I have to denounce it. This is wrong. This is not Islam. That's if you really feel that you've got a lot of taqwa, and you really feel that you've got a strong bond with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the creator of the heavens and earth, of creator of all these planets, of all these human beings. If you really love Allah and you fear Allah and you respect Allah, you will have to denounce Ahmadiyya. Don't wait until it's too late. And don't be afraid that you feel that, for example, maybe you were a very strong Ahmadi before. Don't be afraid to come and say, no guys, actually it's wrong. This is your pride and your ego. Don't be afraid. Don't let your pride and your ego stand in the way of you saying the truth. I was in Ahmadiyya myself for 3.5 years. Some of my colleagues were as well. But I'll speak about myself. I was in it for 3.5 years. Do you think it was easy for me to go and tell everybody that I made a big mistake? It wasn't easy. But I said, for the sake of Allah. Allah knows that my intention was pure. My intention was pure. I really thought Ahmadiyya wasn't a big difference from normal Sunni Islam, because they told me themselves that they follow the Sunnah, and it's just a small thing that we believe the Mahdi's come. That's it. That's basically, in a nutshell, what I thought Ahmadiyya was. I didn't realize it went this deep. So I went in to Ahmadiyya with a pure intention. So obviously, I used to tell people about Ahmadiyya and all this kind of thing. So it was very difficult for me to come to people afterwards and say to them, it was difficult in the beginning, but I said this for the sake of Allah. There can be no arrogance when you're talking about your relationship with Allah. Don't be arrogant. Don't be egotistical. Don't sit there saying, oh, my reputation. This is for Allah. This is not for you. This is for Allah. So don't be scared to come and say to people, I've made a mistake. But the thing is, you made a mistake because you never were shown these things before. So it's not something that you should be ashamed of. You weren't shown these beliefs before. You weren't adamant that these are true beliefs. The things that we're showing you in Mirza's books, basically, I'm talking about those things. You were not adamant that these are true, and you went to people and said they're true, and now you're doing a U-turn. No, you never heard of these things. So don't worry. There's nothing to worry about. Just say the truth. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will help you in your life. He will help you come out of Ahmadiyya. He'll help you. And the thing you're going to feel, I guarantee it, brother or sister, is that you're going to feel peace. You're going to feel certainty with your deen again. Because all the uncertainty that's created by Ahmadiyya and Mirza Ghulam, and cutting you off from all the Muslims, and being afraid to pray with other Muslims, and all the weird things. I mean, I've heard people say that they're afraid to go to other mosques because they might get beaten up. I mean, how does anyone know you're Ahmadi? How does anyone know you're Ahmadi? I've gone to so many different mosques. No one's ever come next to me and even asked me who I am. No one has done that. You hear stories of people saying they get beaten up when they go to mosque. I've never seen that in my life, and none of my friends, none of my colleagues have even seen that in their life. So this could be stories that have been circulated around the Ahmadiyya community. Don't be scared. Don't be scared at all. And the bottom line is, anyway, when you go to another mosque and someone asks you a question, what do you think they're going to say? When you say to them, you did a research, you thoroughly researched Ahmadiyya and you realized it was wrong and you left it, they're going to lift you up in the air and congratulate you. Why were they going to harm you for? Even if they're idiotic enough to think that they should harm Ahmadis, which is stupid, why would they do it to you when you tell them you are not Ahmadi, that you've realized it's false and you've left it and you are just a Muslim now? They will celebrate with you, they will congratulate you. Even if they are the most ignorant people, they will still congratulate you. They won't try to harm you. So don't be afraid of these things. Please, try to have your courage, try to let your courage grow, the courage to read Mirza Ghulam's books. Don't be afraid. I mean, after all, Mirza Ghulam is claiming to be Prophet of Allah. And obviously, as we've shown you in other videos, he claims to be, his coming is more complete and more stronger than Sayyidina Muhammad's coming. Sayyidina Muhammad, who in his time brought us the Quran from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the words in the Quran, the Allah's words. Sayyidina Muhammad brought this for us, the whole Quran, and the whole Sharia of Islam, the whole system of Islam, and his Sunnah, and his examples with people, and his mercy with people, and his kindness with all the people, and his honesty and his trustworthiness. Mirza Ghulam's coming is more complete, and it's a stronger, more complete and more stronger version, more fierce, akmal, aqwa and ashad, than the coming of Sayyidina Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Astaghfirullah. But this is what Mirza Ghulam is saying to you. So why are you afraid to read his books for? Are you afraid to read the Quran? You're not afraid to read the Quran. So why are you afraid to read his books for? Don't be afraid to read his books. You may have been scared off by some people telling you, oh, they need deep interpretation. My dear brother, the Quran sometimes needs deep interpretation. This is the word of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And the words are extremely deep with wisdom. Mirza Ghulam's books are actually they go round and round and round. Some things he goes round and round, but straight away you can see exactly what his point is. Because a lot of his writings, rather than say straightforward, yes, my coming is higher and more complete than Sayyidina Muhammad in one sentence. No, he'll write it in about 3 or 4 pages. 3 or 4 pages, then you realize what he's coming to. This is what you have to ask yourself. This doesn't require deep interpretation. So please don't be scared off when people tell you this kind of thing. Have some courage. Have some trust in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah is just. Allah is kind. Don't be scared off. Mirza Ghulam, as I said before, he said, read my books 3 times. And if you haven't read it, your faith is in doubt. So why are you afraid to read these books? Is it maybe because you are told to come to meetings too many times a week, and then you've got work as well, and then you've got your family to look after, and you've got shopping to do, and maybe you've got an ill relative or something like that, so you feel that you don't have a chance? Make some time. Some of you, it could take a couple of years to read these things, and actually a couple of years to realize and have the courage to stand up and say, no, I've verified Mirza Ghulam's claim. This man is not from Allah at all. But at least you will have that courage. Don't be afraid to face the truth. Because you know what? You can ignore it as long as you want. But there's going to be one day when you're going to come and you're going to die. And then what? You're going to face it. So as much as you want, you can try to ignore it. You can try to ignore it, but it's still there. It's not going to change. What Mirza Ghulam has written is not going to change. So his original beliefs, his true beliefs, his mannerisms, his behavior. As you know, he took opium and he drank arak, which is a very strong alcohol, up to 63% alcohol level. So it's actually probably stronger than vodka. Maybe some of you know what vodka is. It's stronger than that. And obviously maybe if from our other videos you may not know, he died of cholera. Mirza Ghulam died of cholera. I'm not going to say something derogatory and say something like he died on the toilet, because that's just, no, I haven't got any evidence to show that he died while sitting on the toilet. But he died of diarrhea, profuse diarrhea and vomiting at the same time, this is what cholera does to you. It makes you vomit and makes you have diarrhea severely, continuously, to the point that your body becomes so dehydrated that you die. Your organs stop working. This is how Mirza Ghulam died. This was the end of Mirza Ghulam, the so-called promised Messiah, the so-called Mahdi, the so-called second coming of our beloved Sayyidina Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. This is his end. You think Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala couldn't allow Mirza Ghulam, if he was a truthful claimant and a good man, He couldn't allow him to die a more peaceful death? Less painful death? You think Allah couldn't do that? Of course. Who are we? How dare we say that Allah couldn't? Of course Allah could do that. And the worst thing is, Mirza Ghulam wished this disease on his enemies. This disease, cholera, he wished it on his enemies. And he died from it. Does that come on MTA? Do they show you that kind of thing on MTA and explain it to you? No, no, no. It's all hidden away. The promised Messiah this and the promised Messiah that. Always wishing bad on the enemies. Always looking at anything bad, anything to anyone who's against Ahmadiyya. For example, someone can have a heart attack or something after they leave Ahmadiyya. And then the Ahmadiyya people, I've seen them myself say this. You see? Because they left the true Islam. They died of a heart attack. Mirza Ghulam died while having diarrhea and vomiting on himself. So why don't I say, see, that's what happens to a liar. A liar or a deluded claimant to prophethood. We can say that about Mirza Ghulam, but you hear a lot of Ahmadi people or Ahmadiyya hierarchy people within the hierarchy telling you, see, this is what happens to the enemies of Ahmadiyya. For example, they keep citing, the Zia al-Haq when he died, the former leader of Pakistan, when he died in that plane crash. They keep on trying to cite that as if that's a sign that, that Allah's punished him because he was so against Ahmadiyya. First of all, I don't even want to get into it too much, but there are strong grounds to believe that the Central Intelligence Agency of the USA killed him. That they planted a bomb on board and the bomb blew up and the whole plane got obliterated. This is political stuff, and obviously it's not, you can't verify it, completely. But they try to use that to tell their followers, look how potent, look how strong, look how truthful Ahmadiyya is. Allah did this to Mirza, to Zia al-Haq. I'm not even affiliated, or I don't even have anything to do with Zia al-Haq. But I'm just telling you, this is an example. They always look for any misfortune for anyone who's against Ahmadiyya to say this is proof that Allah doesn't like them because they're against Ahmadiyya. How did Mirza Ghulam die? How did Mirza Ghulam die? That is the ultimate one. I'm not even telling you Mirza Bashir ad-Din or Nur ad-Din or Mirza Tahir or any of that stuff. I'm telling you, how did Mirza Ghulam, the actual founder of this whole thing, the founder of Ahmadiyya, the one who claimed to be a prophet, he died one of the worst deaths possible. I mean, any of you who have had a slight illness of diarrhea or whatever, or even vomiting, you know how hard that is. Sometimes you feel like, oh God, this is so painful, it's so horrible, it's like your whole insides are just coming out. This is how Mirza Ghulam died. And we never revel in other people's misery. A true Muslim doesn't sit there wishing bad on anyone else. He doesn't sit there wishing any bad on other people, wishing them to die like this. A true Muslim would wish that they repent. That they repent and Allah forgives them. Not that, we wish for this person to die. Of course, I understand if somebody, maybe let's say someone killed your father or something, of course you'd want them to die. This is a natural thing. But someone like Mirza Ghulam, you would wish for his hidayah. You would wish that he'd become guided and turn away from the falsehood that he's propagating to the people and his false claim. We don't wish that. But Mirza Ghulam kept wishing cholera on his enemies. Kept wishing bad things to happen to his enemies. Even Abdullah Atam, who was a Christian missionary at the time, who, of course, he was a Christian missionary and apparently he said a lot of negative or horrible things about Islam. I'm not on his side, I'm not saying he was right or anything. But Mirza Ghulam, he told him that you're going to die within, I believe it was 15 months. And he didn't die. But anyway, Mirza Ghulam was telling his followers to pray, and they were telling each other to pray for this guy Abdullah Atom to die before the 15-month time, the 15-month deadline. Can you see the difference in that? Sayyidina Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, when this Jewish lady used to throw rubbish at him because she used to say, oh, you're a liar, you're a false claimant, trying to say you're a prophet, and all this kind of thing, she used to throw garbage on this man, Sayyidina Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. She used to throw it on him almost every day. And he used to let it go and forgive her, because she doesn't understand and she doesn't want to see. When she died, Sayyidina Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam went to ask about this lady and check what happened to her, because she always throws garbage on him. He found out that she died. Now, Sayyidina Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, look at that. I mean, any of us, if anyone even threw an empty can at us, we'd go crazy and we want to get revenge and hit them back or something like that. Or at least if you haven't got any courage or whatever, you don't like violence or whatever, you might want to go to the police and report them or something, right? Sayyidina Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam forgave her, and he actually went to ask, where is she? Find out about her. This is the mercy of Sayyidina Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. This is the real message of Islam that came to this amazing person, Sayyidina Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Now you look at Mirza Ghulam wishing death on the people who say to him, you're not a true believer, you're not a true claimant or whatever, or Islam is not true or something like that. Wishing death, wishing cholera on particularly one of his enemies, which we'll be doing a video about as well. So, you think about this and you contrast, and then you say to yourself again, when you hear stuff like Mirza Ghulam, his coming is stronger, more complete than the coming of Sayyidina Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. What? Are you joking? You must be on another planet with some reverse logic for you to think that this is true. But yet, this is in Mirza Ghulam's writings, and it's definitely, we've already made a video about this and you can check it out. Under our channel, you'll see it. So you have to have some courage, inshallah. Keep yourself focused on what you're trying to find. You're trying to find out if Mirza Ghulam wrote these things, and you're trying to assemble a picture of Mirza Ghulam through his writings. A picture of his character, his personality, his behavior. What kind of man was this man? You can get a massive picture from his writings. And this is what me, my colleagues, and hundreds of people that I would think, or maybe possibly a couple of thousand, Allah knows how many, who have left Ahmadiyya based on what Mirza Ghulam has written over the years, since his claim began. Even during his claim, there's a man called Dr. Abdul Hakim, who used to believe in Mirza for many, many years, and actually during Mirza's lifetime realized that Mirza Ghulam was a liar. He believed he was a liar. This Dr. Abdul Hakim thought Mirza Ghulam was a liar, and he denounced his belief in his sect. And he actually became an ardent enemy of Mirza Ghulam to try to expose him. Not because he was jealous or whatever, because Dr. Abdul Hakim didn't want to claim to be a prophet or anything. He didn't want his own group of people. He didn't want his own organization or his own jamaat or whatever. It's just simply that he found or believed that Mirza Ghulam was a liar. He's not from Allah at all. So he turned against him. And of course, naturally, Mirza Ghulam wished all the worst catastrophes and the worst things on people like Dr. Abdul Hakim. Rather than say, forgive them, they're not guided. No. He would wish the worst on them. And the reason being is that people who expose him, they got this treatment. He could easily say, forgive somebody who's not really doing much exposure, is not really damaging him too much. He could say, forgive them. But when someone's doing a lot of damage to him, and it's not unfair damage, it's true, it's exposing the truth about him, he used to wish the worst things on them. So again, is that the way? Is that anything like Sayyidina Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam? How many times does Mirza Ghulam sit there saying he loves Sayyidina Muhammad, that he's so like in love with Allah and Sayyidina Muhammad, and he's not a worldly person and all this kind of thing. He's nothing like Sayyidina Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And we need you Ahmadis, please, to verify and check all these things. Read his books. Find out for yourself. Stop being sucked in by the MTA channel. Stop being sucked in by the weekly khutbahs. Stop being sucked in by any of these Ahmadiyya publications. Read Mirza Ghulam's original books, the things that we're showing you, because we know you can't go and read 82 pages, 82 books. It's too much for you. We understand that. But it's for the sake of Allah. Please read the stuff that we're showing you. See if we're lying or not. Go and find those pages. Go and find those pages. And show us that we're lying, that these words are not here, that he didn't say this. Inshallah, may Allah always guide us to the straight path and always help us and give us courage and give us courage and give us courage to stand up for truth and denounce falsehood. May Allah open our hearts to the truth and put us on the light, the path with the light, and take us always and keep us away from darkness. And this was a sincere message, mainly to Ahmadi brothers and sisters who don't know the true beliefs of Mirza Ghulam Ahmad of Qadian, the claimant to prophethood. And inshallah, I hope this is beneficial. Please keep checking our other videos, share them with your friends. They're informative, inshallah. Inshallah, they're very beneficial to people. We're doing this only for the sake of Allah and nothing else. And this is Usama Sayyid from IslamAfterAhmadiyya.com saying Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.